Ever thought that the secret to a thriving relationship and a healthier mind lies behind the shower curtain? I want you to join me today as I explore with a special guest how sharing this daily ritual can deepen conversations, connections, spark creativity, and invigorate your nervous system. You ready to dive in? Welcome to the Building Resilience Podcast, episode 224, Shower Power, Strengthening Bonds and Boosting Well-Being. Welcome to Building Resilience, a podcast where theory, practical strategies, and inspiring stories show you how to unlock your best life. I'm your host, Leah Davidson. As a certified life coach, speech-language pathologist, and nervous system resilience expert, it is my mission to teach you how to be more resilient to life's adversities. I will show you how to manage your mind, befriend your nervous system, process your emotions, and even eliminate stress. It's time to do more than just survive. It's time to thrive. Let's get started. I am so excited to share this interview with you. But before I do, a couple of exciting things are happening. If you have been looking for a way to dive deeper into nervous system work, find a supportive and fun community, then you will definitely want to check out my new community, the Nervous System Journaling Club. It is a space for you to learn about your nervous system, explore some journaling, some doodling, and be part of a growing and supportive community. So the link is in the show notes. And if you haven't already done so, I want you to also make sure you get my guided journal called Resilience. It is a mental health journal for emotional well-being and nervous system care. It's available on Amazon. And actually in the Nervous System Journaling Club, there's a course that walks you through more in depth what the journal is all about. So it's a perfect combination. The link for that is also in the show notes. Okay, let me get back to my guest. This is a fun episode. I want to introduce you to my friend and colleague, Neta Talmor. Now, we talk about how we met in the interview, so I'll just share with you a little bit more about her here. She is the creator of the Momentum Makers and No Hassle website. And she makes it possible for non-techie female coaches and entrepreneurs to grow their business, have greater impact, and make more money with integrity by empowering them with a no-hassle strategy, teaching them the necessary tactics, and supporting them through the implementation to reach the results they want. So let's jump right in with our conversation. I hope you enjoy this episode. All right, I am so excited to have this guest, and I want to welcome Neta to Building Resilience Podcast. Can you give us just a 30-second intro about you?
Hello, dear. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, I am Neta Talmor. I'm the creator of No Hassle website and all things no hassle. And I help female online entrepreneurs build their online businesses. And my way of doing it differently is that I remove the hassle. I make things simple. I simplify things at very uber affordable prices. So that's kind of how I do things a little bit differently than others.
Oh, I love it. And we're not going to be talking about all that today, but I will put a plug in. Like, you are incredible. When you talk about no hassle, just blows my mind. So anybody out there building an online business, female entrepreneurs, you need to know Neta. And there's so much access to her. But anyhow, all that will be in the show notes. But I want to share, it's a fun topic. I'm so excited to talk about this topic. So Neta and I, we actually met very recently. We went to a mastermind together in Vienna, of all places, only to sort of sit close to each other, find out that we're both from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this crazy thing in common. We were chatting with another masterminder who was getting married, and both Neta and I experienced marriage people, I guess. We've been married. How long have you guys been married, Neta?
We've been together for 30 years.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah,
we know what we're talking about. And
yeah.
Rob and I have been married for 17. And one of the things that we both said is, oh, we know like one of the secrets to
The secret.
the secret to a super healthy marriage. And so people around were like, what? And it ended up being the same secret. And it's not a secret that most people talk about. So we are going to be sharing it with you today. We're going to be letting in
Oh, the tease, Leah, the
the
tease.
tease. Nada, why don't you tell us what is the secret to a healthy
The
marriage?
secret to a healthy marriage is showering together every day. In our case, twice a day, because we
I know
shower twice.
okay, that was a bit much. I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. But you know what's crazy about it is there's actually science behind why showering is so powerful. And that's why I want to talk about shower power, really. It has huge benefits for our relationships, for our creativity, for our mood, and of course for our nervous system. Let's talk about showering together. I know
Okay.
that I did a podcast episode, I think it was last year or the year before, when my husband and I were celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary. And we were going through and giving like our secrets for a healthy marriage. And one of the ones that he said in that episode, I can link it to the show notes, is to shower together. And he brought it up and he said, now everybody goes to the idea of like, oh, intimacy. He's like, which that's very important, of course, but we're talking about more than just intimacy. We're talking about there's other benefits of showering together. So let's start us off with your theory of why showering together is the secret.
Okay, just one thing before. I do think it's very much about intimacy, but it doesn't need to be physical intimacy. It's
Yeah.
the intimacy that we get in the shower.
I was just
So,
trying to be
yeah,
polite that when
yeah,
people's minds go
yeah.
to showering,
I know
I know
it's the
like for
first
my
thing.
kids, they're like, ah, showering.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, guys.
Yeah, you see, because your kids were a little older when you and Rob
Yeah.
got married. My kids grew up like we would
Yeah.
have the babies in the because we were both in the shower. We couldn't leave them, so
Yeah.
they would be in the room. And so they've been used to it. It's just we just say we're going to take a shower. That's what we say. It's not
Yeah.
like mom is going to what is happening. If I would say I'm going in, my husband would be sitting there. It would be weird for my kids who are
Yeah.
teenagers now. But so the main advantage, I think, and the reason we love it so much is because it's quiet time. And for us, as I said, at the beginning of the day and the end of the day,
Hmm.
it's just our special time, 10, 15 minutes, just us talking, sharing our thoughts, what we're going to do today, quiet time, relaxed, and just again, the best ideas, discussing business ideas, trips,
Yeah.
the kid, everything goes into those quick, 15-minute chats that are such high quality chats usually,
Yeah.
as strange as it may sound. So that's how we start the day. And we even like both work from home. So it's not like something happens, but we're just like, hi, bye. I go to my desk and he goes to his
Right.
desk. But it's different because we're there together and we start the day off like that. And then at the end of the day for us, it's how was your day basically. We don't ask that. We just go to the show. Or we can sit at dinner and we want to talk about something. And we're like, oh, we'll talk about it in the shower.
That's right.
And we say that
That's our shower agenda.
exactly. The shower agenda for today is this. And
Right.
and combining that with the fact that showering is one of my favorite things in the world,
Right.
is just really a wonderful combo. I just have to tell you, so often, I mean it like once a week at least, during the shower, I say something like, isn't to my husband, isn't the shower the best thing? Can you believe it? Hot water comes out of the wall.
Yeah.
Like it's such luxury. It's
Yeah.
so simple, but it's such luxury. And we really enjoy that part as well. And we talk about how fortunate we are to have hot water come out of the wall
I love it.
at will. So
Yeah.
that's how I see it. That's
I
my,
love it. So
non-scientific
yeah,
explanation.
well, you touched on so many things that really you're talking about. It's we talk about nervous system here. It's co-regulating with each other. You're being able to regulate yourselves by being in the presence of each other in very intimate surroundings, and that's very calming to the nervous system. I think the other piece is there is something about that sensory experience of having water, the warmth of the water, which helps release, lowers your stress, and releases oxytocin and does all those things for those benefits. And then, like you said, I love that it brings gratitude into your life of recognizing the very simple things that let's face it, we take that for granted. Like how many times you turn on your shower and stand there like praising, like it's amazing that water flows.
So
Usually,
amazing.
if you haven't had that,
Right.
you'll come back and you'll have that appreciation. But I love that it's the opportunity to
Th-
appreciate.
This is why I know that I mentioned that we shower twice a day. To me, it's so normal that showering once feels like, ew, like who are these people? Why don't they shower twice? Now, almost no one showers twice, at least not in Canada, a day.
Right,
To me, that's a minimum, right?
right.
That's a minimum. And they're also different showers, I have to say. So morning shower is to start the day. So I don't drink coffee, for example,
Okay,
but
yeah.
in and out of the shower, and I'm all
Mhm.
ready for the day. And the evening shower is to clean yourself. So I would never go into
Mm,
bed without
cleansing.
showering. Two
Hmm.
different showers.
Yeah,
So yeah, that also
yeah.
psychologically, I think, is for two
Well, it
different people.
does. It's a
Yeah.
routine thing too. I can see that. Like we shower in the morning, and like you had said earlier, it's that undistracted time,
Mm.
that focus on just each other, going through what's your day like, what's happening, just that pure time to connect with each other. In the evenings, we have different kind of rituals. I love taking a bath. So I am a
Mm.
bath person. And that is ends up being a time to just relax for me. Rob is usually listening to music. And now that we're empty nesters, he's listening to music really loudly so I can hear it in the bath. And sometimes I'm like, turn that one, play that one again. I love that. But I do think it is like there's a ritual piece to it. And I think that shared rituals really help bond you together. Like it helps improve your relationship satisfaction overall. So I appreciate that.
I recommend two showers a day is what
Two
I'm
showers
trying
a
to
day.
say.
Yes,
Because think about it, you have that luxury and
it's
you can do
true.
it twice a day. Why
Yeah,
not?
I know.
Like I
Some
would
people may
spend
be
even more
concerned.
time.
Some people may be concerned about the water usage, but
Okay, so true, I totally agree. I would
mhm.
say that our actual time that the water is running is around 7 minutes. I think it's
Yeah,
okay. It's not
yeah,
too bad,
yeah,
but it's truly a luxury. Like I feel that it is something that I consume, and I don't like to consume a lot
yeah.
of things that I'm aware, but it's my really, I cannot do without it, I think.
Right.
Like
It's
you
for
said,
your
when the
mental health too,
yes,
right? It's your
exactly,
relationship,
exactly.
it's for your
You're gonna
mental
tell
health.
me not
Yeah.
to shower, and then what will
Yeah.
happen?
Well, I sort of laugh because, I've had lots of teenagers in the house and young adults when they return back home. Their definition of a quick shower is nowhere near my definition of a
Yeah.
quick shower. Like, I think and maybe that comes from they don't have the experience of paying water bills or anything like that,
Mm,
but we're the same thing. Like
yeah,
showering, it is a long shower for us
yeah,
is that would be like that 10
yeah,
minutes where I've
yeah.
noticed with like younger generation or my kids, like a
It's
short shower is anything
yeah.
under 15 minutes where I'm just, oh my gosh, stop it. But I think it's the connection with each other, the connection, the conversation, the being able to have that intimate time. And then you also mentioned it's like how you feel, your mood. You don't have coffee. You have a way that the end of the day, it's very cleansing, very ritual. And I think it does speak to the mood and that things like warm water can reduce stress hormones and it can improve your overall mood. What are your thoughts, though, on the benefits of showering for creativity? Because that's another one that often comes up.
Yes, definitely idea. I just want to say by default, we always shower together, but there are
Mhm.
probably a couple of showers during the week that we miss each other or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen for whatever reason. And but I would say that in both cases, for me, creativity usually comes in work. So new like business ideas, new product. That's creativity for me. My husband is an actual artist, so his creativity is different, but definitely ideas come to mind there, and we discuss it there. And so for both, we're both creative at the same time to think and support each other with ideas or things we want to try. Definitely 100%. When I have that kind of quiet time,
Right.
whether it's the water or just being with,
Yeah.
like you said, the steam and all of those sensations, no doubt they open something,
Yeah.
and I come up with ideas. Sometimes I have to get out of the shower and literally write something down so I
Yeah.
don't forget it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I think the creativity can be even creatively when you're together. If you have challenges or problems, I find that even we come up with, okay, what are we going to do about this situation? Well,
Total
let's do that. We
solutions.
can manage some conflicts, deal with some problems. And maybe it's also because we usually do the shower in the morning, so we've had a full night's sleep, which you've had time to process emotions, think things through, and then we get in the shower and it's sort of like this here's what happened during the night in my
Yeah.
mind. Let me unload it and share. But then the alone part, I do find, again, showering, we know. And there's a difference too between a very hurried shower. Like, I'm not going to get my creative ideas if I'm like, okay, I got to go, hurry, next
Yeah.
thing, I have an appointment. But just having a little bit of that slow it down pace, then it can help relax me. And then when I'm relaxed, that's where my brain can be free to wander and come up with different ideas, problem solve, creative insights. And there's something also very rhythmic about the shower, just even like it's almost like a white noise effect.
Yeah.
And just being able to let my brain wander and take it in, that I can see it's like creating these connections. And sometimes, like, it will be these light bulb moments. And a lot of times, water is tied to light bulb moments.
I like the word unload that you use. Definitely we unload in the shower. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
this is what I have, like brain dump, right?
Yeah.
Like we clean the brain as well. Think about
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Very powerful, especially as a couple and individually. And then the last piece that I was thinking of the benefits of showering is really all about invigorating the nervous system. So there's two kind of things. We can have it where it's a calming state where you're co-regulating with your partner, you're coming up with creative ideas. It's warm, it's invigorating, the rhythmic motion and the sound of the water. And then we can also do it where there's like a challenge to the nervous system. And this is where cold showers come into play. Now, I know for you, you're already shaking your head. This is a hard no.
No, it's I think I could handle it better than my husband, for example, with cold water, but I would never do it.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
let me share with you
Yes,
a
sure.
little bit
Convince me.
about why cold showers are a thing, why cold exposure is a thing. Generally, the idea is that as much as we want to do things to regulate our nervous system and co-regulate and keep ourselves calm, we do know that in everyday life, we are going to be impacted by stressors and we're going to have a reaction. So one of the reasons, not the only reason, there's lots of other reasons for cold exposure, but one of the reasons is we are deliberately stressing the system, your nervous system, in a safe place. Hopefully in the shower, you're turning the cold up. You are going to have a reaction. Like, I always do a little high pitch, like, oh, that's cold.
Yeah.
And what that does is it activates my sympathetic nervous system, which is going to increase all the hormones related to that. And as I'm standing in the cold water, I build that stress tolerance because I try to, all right, change my breath, slow it down a little bit, relax my body. I like to try to do some cognitive tasks because I know that's
Mm.
beneficial to just think of counting backwards or counting or doing something so that my system is in a stress state, but trying to access my thinking skills as well. And so I'm teaching my body how to regulate more
Mm.
effectively when it's put under stress. So that's one of the reasons. Now, there's other reasons that they talk about that cold showers can help reduce symptoms of depression and they can help boost your mood and increase alertness and mental clarity. I think that one's kind of like go splash cold water in your
Yeah.
face can instantaneously increase your alertness and mental clarity. And I'm not talking necessarily about like jumping in a cold shower and being there for
Mhm.
20 minutes. I think the recommended dose per se is 11 minutes spread over a week.
Mm.
So that could be just a couple of minutes here or there. I know what I recommend and what I try to do is I have my shower and then turn it down as cold as I can tolerate it. And I build on that, right? So cold
And
for
then you
30
go
seconds.
hot again after?
No,
No.
I
Okay,
don't
yeah,
go hot
that's
again. That's the part you don't like, I know. But as cold as I can tolerate, and it will get colder because and it also depends on your state of when you get in. Like sometimes there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. I already know I'm activated and cold water is just going to put me over the edge. Other times it's easier to do. So I can make it colder. I can do instead of 30 seconds, I can push it to a minute to 2 minutes at the end of the shower. I can move around in the shower. I do change my breathing, engaging all that cognitive skills, which I know sounds crazy. It makes the shower so not fun if I'm like repeating a poem or doing math equations or anything. But what I'm trying to do is my why behind it is training the brain to stay functional in a stress
stress.
response.
Okay, I will try. I
Okay,
will
and you
give it a
get back
try.
to me.
I will give it a
Even
try.
if you
We'll see.
just do it a couple of times, I think the idea of learning how to do it and tolerate, it's the same thing. I don't know if you've ever gone to one of those spas that's like a therapeutic spa. There's all around.
Do
No,
I
you
look like a spa person to you,
you
Leah?
totally
No,
don't look
no,
like a spa
no.
person.
I'm thinking more jumping to the lake is what
Yes.
I would do.
Okay, I'll give you
That's
that.
what we do.
Although Lake Ontario is really cold, but if
Oh,
you want
no.
to, there are
Yeah,
people
up.
that go down. You can see
I,
them every
I
morning and then
I
they
know.
do the cold plunge. This
Aren't
is
they
part
called
of the
like
reason.
North Pole or what was
Yeah.
polar pole? Yeah,
Yeah, the polar plunge.
polar plunge. Yeah.
But and like I said, there's other benefits. I won't get into all of them. I don't know all of the benefits, but just for the body, there's lots. But just particularly for the nervous system, it really is beneficial. So yeah, tell me, check it out, and you can see.
You will get a report, Leah.
You'll get a report.
But I think I need to do it alone though, because having two going through the cold shower is too much, I
Yeah.
think. There'll be some screaming and pushing, and it's not a good idea.
That's right. That's right. It's not a good idea to do that. But then other benefits, just so that we can really push the idea of the shower, is it is things like it helps with your sleep. That's one of the reasons why I do my bath
Yeah.
in the evening. So it's different. I'm getting back to just regular showering as opposed to cold showering. But even before bed, like warm showers before bed, what it does actually, or warm baths, is it lowers your body temperature, which kind of seems
Hmm.
counterintuitive, but it actually is lowering your body temperature, which we know that your body needs to have a lower temperature to sleep well. So as you take that bath or shower, you're signaling to your body it's time to sleep. And
Yeah.
it
It's the
can,
last thing we do in the day. So we
yeah,
don't do it like it, we do it really just before bed,
yeah,
always.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
a great way for your body to get to know that it's heading into that sleep time. The other thing that can help with shower that I know a lot of people, we've talked on the podcast a couple weeks ago, I had Dr. Howard Schubiner on talking all about chronic pain and illness, that the heat from shower can relax muscles and reduce pain sensitivity. And we also know that cold showers can help reduce inflammation, can help with recovery. I've had clients tell me that the coldness or a cold plunge, going to one of these spas where they go around doing what are they called, the Scandinavian
Ah,
spas,
yeah.
where
Like
you
cold,
go
hot,
around
cold.
the cold and there's a circuit, and where they say it is so helpful for their pain, having reduced inflammation and just helps overall to
Yeah, I'm
tolerate.
more into hot springs
Yeah.
in Costa
Oh, that
Rica.
does well too. But for pain, it can be
Yeah.
both hot or cold. And then, really, just this idea of what I mentioned before, kind of grounding your emotions, processing your emotions, that feeling of water, that experience on your body. It can be really used as a way to help regulate your system. And that sensory overload, we have so much stimulation during the day, and then you step into the shower, and it's just the rhythm of the water, the warmth of the water, the connection with your partner. How can
Everything
it
is better
not
at
help your relationship?
exactly. And you remember what everyone in the mastermind were like, what about the logistics? What about the logistics?
Okay, that was my next question.
I'm
Like,
like,
how
what
does this work?
like, what do you mean? You take off your clothes, you go into the shower. I don't understand. What logistics are we talking about? Then it got into laser hair removal. Just,
That's right. So the logistics, yeah. And I get that some people have different process in the shower of like washing
but
their
I'm just
hair,
wondering what's
everything.
going on with their marriage. Can't you just take your clothes off and go in the shower?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say if logistically, I get it. Some people are like, I'm not interested in showering and cleaning in front of my partner, but at least having a time then where you do connect in the shower, I think it is beneficial. You're like, I don't, but I'm going to take the approach that I get why some people are resistant, but I think it's really helpful. The other pushback I think people have is like, well, I have kids. How do I make this work? Like, this
But
is
in
not,
what sense? Like feeling uncomfortable doing it with the kids, or
I
that
think
they're
more the
small and they,
logistics of somebody's got
okay,
to be
okay.
with the kids. And I think you brought what your solution was. Well, the kids came in the bathroom when they were younger, and
Yeah.
hopefully now they're teenagers. I'm imagining
Yeah,
they're
and
not.
they're not. No, like I would have the, what do you call the thing where you put the little
Like the
baby
car
when they're
seat or the
we did,
bouncy
yeah,
chair.
exactly. We would bring it into the shower,
Yeah.
and then we would have the door open and here, but you can
Yeah.
always just walk out of the shower,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Yeah, like you said, our kids, when we got married, were between 3 and 9. And so we didn't quite have the come in the
Yeah,
bouncy
yeah.
chair, although we only had one main bathroom in our house. So with
Mm.
5 kids, let me tell you, there was a lot of different things going on as the
Mm.
kids were younger, brushing teeth, doing hair. Somebody was doing something, somebody was in the shower.
So,
Usually not us though. But just even things like our kids just knew we're
yeah.
showering. And I think this is a time if you're going to put your kid in front of the TV, which often we do as our babysitters, TV, iPad, go take a shower together
Yeah.
or make a shower date. Where maybe it doesn't have to be every day if you're in the thick of things, or get up earlier or shower after the kids have gone to bed or something like that.
Yeah, just like with the cold water, though, what I tell people as my marriage or relationship advice is
Mhm.
try it for 30 days, come back to me.
That's right.
No one
Yeah.
has ever come back to me, by the way.
Either they haven't done it or they agree that the 30 days works. Yeah. Yeah.
No, no, I don't think they've done it. I don't think people do it.
Well, I think
I know
the
only one other couple. They're older, significantly older, and
uh-huh,
they're amazing. From what we know about other people's relationship,
that's right.
they have a wonderful marriage, and they've been together for like 60 years or something like that at
Oh,
this point,
yeah.
and they take showers together. So that was always a good kind of proof for me. And then I met you, and that's it.
And
I
there
know
we
only
go.
two other
Another one.
couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing I will say for your kids that I think it's important that kids see parents prioritizing their relationship in so many different ways. I'll often hear about parents who will never leave their kids for certain things. And we all have our comfort levels. Some people don't want to leave their kids when they're going out or go on vacation or do something. They want to do things as a family. But I think kids always do need to see their parents prioritizing their relationship. And this is a really easy way to do it.
Mm.
Doesn't cost you money. You don't have to get extra sitters. You don't have to leave them for weeks at a time. And it's consistent.
This is exactly true for us. We have been in Canada for 18 years, but immigrants to Canada, no family. My kids have never, ever, even once had a babysitter.
Wow.
We couldn't afford it when they were young, and no grandparents or
Mhm.
anyone to help. So everything was done together.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's true. This was always because we don't go on date. We never go on
Right.
dates
Yeah.
because we couldn't when the
Yeah.
kids were younger, and just became so. I do agree without thinking about it that it was our little daily date, twice a
Yeah.
day, little snuck a date without
Yeah.
officially calling it a date.
Yeah. And I think you're not alone. And there's for various reasons, either they just logistically can't, or you don't have family to watch, or just comfort levels. But I think this is something that you can integrate in your life. And not only is it beneficial for your relationship, it's beneficial for your kids to see that you are a couple. In addition to being an individual, in addition to being the parent, you are a couple. and you prioritize your relationship. And so we shower together. Any final words on the power of the shower?
The power of no, I think I shared my philosophy and
Awesome.
you shared yours. I really think maybe we didn't touch on the je ne sais quoi element. We don't know what it is, but there's something magical about doing it. It's just,
Yeah.
something happens that maybe science can't exactly
Yep.
explain or we can't put in words. But when you do it, that feeling, that
See it.
bond and the relationship, I think and like you said, an ideal way, cheap, easy, in your house, convenient, takes 10 minutes a day,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
and it can really turn things around or elevate them.
Yeah. So it's the magical power
It's
of the
yeah,
shower.
yes,
It's there.
exactly.
Yes. I love it. Netta, thank you so much for being here and
Thank you for having
sharing
me, my
this.
friend, my
Um,
bestie.
can you tell people where to find you? Because we didn't talk just at the beginning. I
Yeah.
really want to encourage people, if you are in the business world, online world, what you offer will blow people away. Honestly, it blew me away, and I'm
Thank you, dear.
super fan. So share with people how
So
they
yeah,
can find you.
so the easiest way is to go to my main website called nohasslewebsite.com. As simple as that. You can see this is my main product where everything started. It's a plug and play website, but you can also just go to the contact there. If you want to contact me, you could write and just address it to me or mention my name. It's assigned to me by my team. And then you could go also to the momentummakers.com. And that is my monthly membership for online entrepreneurs, where we focus on one project every month just for 3 days. We get more things done in those 3 days than most get, not only during the month, but many times during the year. And we do that every month. 3 days, I give you everything. You don't have to prepare. You come, you show up. I give you the strategy of what we're doing, the tactics, and we implement it together. And it just makes people feel so good and accomplished. And it pushes and grows their business and brings momentum to it. So those are the easiest
It's
ways to
amazing. And I
learn
know
it.
that, I don't know when this episode airs, but I know that my website is going to be transforming to a no hassle website. It was just perfect timing. My website was very due for an upgrade, and it is so easy. So really
Thank
encourage
you.
people
Thank
to
you.
reach out. Thank you for being here. Happy
Thank you, dear.
showering.
Thank you to
All right.
everyone. Thank you, dear.
Take care. Thank you for listening to the Building Resilience podcast. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about managing stress, building resilience, and leading a more purposeful life, then make sure we're connected on Instagram and Facebook at Leah Davidson Life Coaching. You can also subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.leahdavidsonlifecoaching.com/newsletter. Looking forward to connecting.